What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, December 15th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Coming off of a shit night. Not the right time of year to have these shit nights. Very frustrating. And it wasn't, the capping wasn't that bad. It was just the bets were bad. The Kings Tampa Bay first period under 1 hour. I should have just taken full game. It's not like me to cut it down to a third of the game. If I think I have an advantage with the goaltending, I want 60 minutes. It's not like me to do that. And Senators first period, that's when I get burnt for being a little bitch. I mean, you got to trust your hockey team that you're betting, and that's me just being, for whatever reason, when I'm on these big dogs in the NHL, I'm just more comfortable taking them first period. But teams like the Sabres or even like the Blue Jackets last night, I get it. But the Senators are a good young hockey team. You should give them 60 minutes if you're going to take them on a dog line. Upsetting. I'm upset. Pete says all these nice things about my NHL capping, and look, I'm having a losing season. I'm a losing capper in NHL. So let's just cut all the nice things to say about me because I'm not succeeding. I took Alcorn State first half. They covered full game. That's fucking irritating. Blazers losing overtime. I did take the Knicks first half and full game, so I had half of that covered, but it's just really, really, really irritating. And it's not been a very good week and a half. I had a nice cash on the Grey Cup. I had a big poker night on Sunday, but that doesn't make it any easier. And so I'm angry. But I'm happy to be here with you guys, and the anger will dissipate as the show goes on. Shout out to everybody joining me. Banana Grapes in the house. Dennis Garcia. Oh, damn. Dan Kelly says, I never lay minus 165, but I put a big bet on Team Corda. Minus 165 versus Team Harrington at the PNC Championship. A lot of books don't have lines on it because there are children competing. Oh, God. Okay, see? Dan got a smile on my face. It didn't take long. It didn't take because there are children competing. Oh, thank you for that, Dan. I needed that. Frustrating morning. Okay. Brian Watson in the house. Sammy Comer on Crystal Palace money line at plus 130. There are children competing. Oh man, I remember when we were going to Vietnam, my girlfriend and I. So obviously, I'm looking to see if there's horse racing in Vietnam, and it's a pretty corrupt place, and so I wasn't sure if there was any horse racing, and I was like, oh shit, there was horse racing. They just shut it down due to corruption. And I looked closer. And I was like, wait a minute. Those are child jockeys. And the one parent was like, yeah, he's 9.5 now, so he's only got a few more months left of riding top thoroughbreds. And when I showed my girlfriend that, she was not pleased. She was not proud of her history. Then she was not proud of her history. All right. James says San Jose sucks. You know what, James? I think the big mistake, and I made it, is that they have to be backed as a home dog. That was the original plan. I just got off it because, look, I don't trust the forwards on the Kraken to play defensive, accountable hockey, but they did it for Drieger last night. I'm fading them. Okay, Dennis and I are in. We can talk whatever amount you want, then. I'm easy. Sean in the house. Trevor Loudon back in action with us. John Flack ready to go. Jake Maddox says, anyone like the Capitals over 2.5 goals? Look, I'm uncomfortable with the Capitals Blackhawks game. I do not want to back them with Backstrom coming back and no Tom Wilson, possibly, most likely. I don't know. We need the Tom Wilson information. That does make me a little uncomfortable. Henry Dice says, good morning. Sharks got me last night. That was my fault. That was my fault. And Daniel Zomerdijk, great job. God, I wish I had the balls to have stuck with you. Very, very upsetting. Viper in the house. TCATL ready to go. Real Deal Prime. Astute Chaos. Real Deal Prime saying Buffalo, baby. Wesley Costas in the house says, good morning, all. Good morning, Jimmy. Fading my Knicks equals cash. It does. It does. You're a good man, Daniel. Thank you for the kind words. Look, Mario White says first time he gets to view the whole live show. Let's get it. Slatsy 2-3 last night in NHL. Jets are dead to me, and Sharks losing was tough. Rangers first period, Rangers regulation. The Flyers was my only good call, unfortunately. And I'm with you. But not Rangers regulation. I'm with you. Rangers first period -0.5, and Rangers. Oh, are you talking about today or yesterday? Because I'm betting the Rangers, and I can easily break down why I want to fade once again, fade the Coyotes and fade them badly. Sorry, JPZ. I did not. I'm not helping. That's what's pissing me off. Astute Chaos says Jackets killed my cousin parlay last night. Upsetting. North Ender not having a good night either. I feel like I'm mostly to blame. Kent Davies in the house. Let's go, Brandon. Clint started the diehard MMA podcast. I can't believe Sabres blew my first period bet, then wrecked the Panthers. The rest. Oh, you mean the Senators? Yeah, Senators. They pushed that first period. There's Jimmy Gomez in the house. Birdie ready to get to work. Jimmy Gomez, Vegas puck line. Beautiful bet, Jimmy. Beautiful bet. Slatsy said my best bets were on Wild. Didn't figure on COVID, voiding both bets. Yeah, I was very excited about that spot. Thank you, JPC. Let's do that. There's serious business ready to get to work. Trump one says, besides Flyer winning, what a shellacking last night was. Fucking Isles, Jackets, and Sharks. We're going to get that money back. We're going to fight the good fight. There's Turnsey again. Says Canucks saved my ass last night. It was a big comeback from the Canucks. Jared TG. Turnsey going 2 for 1. You know who had a monster night was good old Gokster, Belleville's own Mr. Gokster, who will be joining us Thursday and Friday. And one of the best players in the field is Charlie Woods. He's 13. Yes. All right. Birdie, thank you for the kind words, but I'm, you are what your numbers say you are. So I'm a losing capper in NHL. That's what I am right now, and I want to get over it. Okay, let's get to work. I know you're not joking, Dan. I just needed it. I needed it. Slatsy says, how much did you win betting on horses Vietnam? No, so there were no horses. They shut it down due to corruption. But we had a big trip in Hong Kong, and we were going to go to Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Happy Valley was under construction, so I canceled the trip. How about that? Canceled the trip. Fuck, I got to go to Hong Kong for if I'm not going to go to Happy Valley. Well, I'll tell you, I don't have to go to Hong Kong. Fuck that shit. Okay, Mike M did catch that puck bunny again. Remo said the kids are in on the corruption. No, they're not. I think it's just their parents. But I'm sure they're told. Oh, he keeps hammering the no joking. Okay, damn, sorry I laughed at it. It just got me. Okay? It just got me. It just got me. All right. No, Mario White. There is no such thing. The only thing that's 100% lock on this show is that I will honestly and with transparency give my stats and records and everybody's stats and records. That's it. That's the only lock on this show, is that I can promise you honesty, whether or not it's a horrifically embarrassing or means I'm a losing capper in NHL. Okay, good, Slatsy. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm completely with you. Okay, we got to get to work. North Ender, I know, but I know you don't. I know you don't blame anybody. I know you don't. Look, you're quality, completely quality. I did not lead the way I wanted to lead. All right, we got to go. Gavin Henry in the house says, how about some Parks Racing? I tell you what I will be doing. I will be on Razor Sharp's horse racing show tonight. Remington Park is back, which means that I don't need to rush. I can get the kids down. I can set up the schedule in my worksheet enough, and then I can hammer the last couple hours of racing at Remy. So I will be on Razor's show tonight, and I look very much forward to it. Okay, look. Nothing wrong with betting on children. Okay. Look, God, I needed this. I needed this really bad. Also because we're hoping to get out of Toronto on our first real vacation here since COVID hit. The girl's off with Big Carter, who's still sick, man, waking up every 45 minutes. But they're gone. So I got this incredible 1-bedroom apartment that hopefully will be available to the highest bidder soon. There comes with a free pigeon fuck party on the balcony, 24/7 pigeon fuck party on the balcony. I'm not sure if they're going to add that to the listing, but they should. Let's get to work. Enough of this bullshit. Now we have ItsDERL joining us here, and he's joining us soon. And he's coming off really nice shows, back-to-back really nice shows. I can yell a bit today, which is a relief because I got a whole lot of anger deep inside me. Turnsy says, pour a drink. I don't know if I want to start. Actually, no, I can't, actually, because I've got to run errands. I got to run errands afterwards. I got to run errands.
Do it, coward.
No. Look, look.
Look, Jim, look at me. You have to do it for the sake of the show.
No, I'm 42 years old, so I will not fall for any peer pressure. You guys know I'm a fucking booze bag. You guys know I want to drink all day long, but I'm also a father of 2 children that I'm madly in love with, and I have to run errands in the car. I've got to pick up some gifts. I got to do a bunch of different things, so I also have to be a father.
What are we getting? What are we getting the kids this year, Jimmy? What are we getting the kids? They're not around, so we can talk about it.
Oh, this is this. I don't know. I don't think we need to get them much of anything. Actually, I mean, Carter, we don't need to get him shit. He's 9 months old. Ella, we'll worry about that later. This is just getting we got mugs with their faces on it and shit like that to give to the parents, stuff like that. I got to pick up. All right, let's get to work. But Slatsy Birdie, this has been ready to go, and it was my fault for not dropping it. And I think that we need a little bit more levity on this show. A little bit more levity. I'd like to pop this up. This is for you, Slatsy. Oh shit. Let me here. This is for you, Slatsy, and your spectacular hockey team that reached the Stanley Cup Finals last year.
La plus grande franchise dans la histoire du hockey.
What a fucking idiot! He sounds like me speaking French, and he's your general manager.
La plus grande franchise dans la histoire du hockey.
You must be so proud of yourself. Great signing. Let's have him in charge of everything. All right, let's get to work right now. 8 p.m. Eastern, Washington Capitals 17-5-6, 8-3-2 on the road at the Chicago Blackhawks 10-15-2, 5-6-1 at home. We're at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. Ilya Samsonov 11-2-1, 2.47 goals against average, 915 save percentage, 3 shutouts. Marc-Andre Fleury 8-10-0, 2.79 goals against average, 913 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Washington power play, will it change? That's what he's trying to talk about. Will this power play change now that Nicholls Backstrom is here and back? What's Nicholls Backstrom really going to bring? I'm so interested to see what Nicholls Backstrom can do off of being off skates for a long time. And I don't really have high expectations. He's expected to make his debut tonight. And Tom Wilson's dealing with an upper body injury and missed Saturday's game in Buffalo. It's unclear if he will return tonight. He's been very good this season. 6 goals, 18 assists, 24 points. There was a lot of people who talk shit about the contract that he signed, but this guy is just everything you want in a hockey player. I mean, look, I know he can get dirty. Look, you want your players to play with a certain kind of edge. And yes, he goes past that edge sometimes. And so I do have that. Northander says, I have a feeling Blackhawks will be the parlay killer of the day. Turnsy says, Backstrom has baby shoulders. We use toddler shoulders here. Turnsy, toddler shoulders is what we use. And Mike M, Puck Bunny, play of the day, over 5.5 for Caps Hawks. So let's get that here, right here. Pop the Puck Bunny play of the day. All right, let's bring this up here. Let's take a look at the market. And I don't really care where the money is in NHL. I don't know if that is but I'm losing right now in NHL. But I mean, I can talk about it. Let's start with the money line here. We have Washington opening up at -150. They're now -144. Look, if almost any other team in the NHL, I would be very interested in fading the Capitals. The total opened up at 5.5. It was minus 123 to the over. It's now minus 114 to the over. We'll take a quick look at the cash here, see if there's anything that might help. 2,320 tickets in, and it does say that Vanacek is starting for the Capitals here. Just 88% of the money line tickets are on Washington, and the market's not moving. You know, maybe we should bet the Hawks. Maybe I should just have enough confidence to bet the Hawks here, but I don't trust them. Alex Ovechkin has been absolutely spectacular. I don't want my fandom to get in the way either. 20 goals, 24 assists in 28 games. He's a plus 19. He's playing 21 minutes and 56 seconds of ice time. He's 36 in his 17th season, and he's having the best season of his career. We are so lucky that we've been able to watch him. So fortunate that we've been able to watch his whole career. What a guy. What a player. Blackhawks come in off their second loss in 3 games, 5-4 at Toronto on Saturday night. Patrick Kane has 1 goal, 4 assists in his last 11 games, and he's a -6. How do you back this team? I don't know how you back this team. I don't want to back this team. I don't want to bet on them. Johnny Taves has 2 goals and 9 assists in 27 games played. He's a -13. It's too bad that he had to miss all of last season due to this. We're not entirely sure what it was. I don't know if any of you guys know. Some sort of a bacterial infection. Seth Jones leads this team in scoring. Alex DeBrincat is still bringing offense. But what happened to Kubalik? 5 goals, 4 assists, -12 in 27 games. I apologize. Please apologize to your wife for me. North Ender says straight pass for me, and I have to agree with North Ender. Puzzler says, if you want, DM me your edible preferences. Ooh, thank you. I do. I'm very much into edibles because I don't want the smoke around. I don't want to smell like it. I got young kids, so edibles have become my choice as of late. I agree with North Ender, and thank you, North Ender. This is certainly a Blackhawks or no bet. Keep a very close eye on Backstrom tonight. I will be. Let's see if he changes their power play. Let's see when Tom Wilson comes back. We do have Oshie back. All right, let's move on to 9 p.m. Eastern. Next up, this is a double-up spot for me. New York Rangers, 18-7-3, 10-4-2 on the road at Arizona Coyotes, 5-20-2, 2-9-1 at home, Gila River Arena in Glendale, Arizona. We're expecting Shesterkin back in the lineup. I don't know exactly what that means for us. That's not a point of confidence for me in this bet, even though he's a spectacular goalie. 2.05 goals against, average 937 save percentage. But him being gone for 2 weeks, that's not – he could be great. He could be – a little civvy. That he's not the reason why I'm betting this. Scott Wedgwood, 3-8-2, 2.97 goals against, average 906 save percentage. He hasn't been god awful. He's being okay. New York Rangers power play at 23.5%, penalty killing 83.7%. Arizona power play at 12.1%, penalty killing at 71.9%. So this total is at 5.5. It was -112 to the over and just -103 to the under at Pinnacle. It's now -108 to the under. So 5-cent move towards the under. From a money line perspective, the Rangers opened up at -220. They're now -204. So there has been a 16-cent move to the Coyotes. And North Ender says Rangers goalie was great last night. And Wesley Costa says, Coyotes on 3 days of rest. Rangers back-to-back concerns me, but I love the Rangers. They need to win. And there's Coactus. Coactus in the house, part of my favorite mother-son capping team in the world. Coactus, it is great to see you, and thank you for joining us. So last for a year, my wife thought Jimmy's name was Jimmy the Bad. Okay, so let's talk about this spot. So, and I find it very interesting. Let's just take a look at the cash as well. So, and they have Kincaid listed. Maybe that's a mistake. I don't know if we know if Shesty is going to get the start here. They have Kincaid listed, and maybe that's the reason why the market's moved. Okay, but let me explain. I know what's going on here. I believe so. And Birdie's adding Rangers first 10 minutes -0.5. And he took that first 10 minutes -1.5, with the Avalanche last Friday that cashed the +700. And we got Lamont Williams looks here. So let me pop that. Okay, so I'm surprised that Shesty's not ready to go. Maybe they're waiting to have him at home. And I probably should have waited. I'm just going to copy and paste Lamont Williams stuff here and make sure that we can talk about it and discuss it. Here we go. Okay, so, and Brady said, TJ said Kincaid earlier than the market moved. Comer said Kincaid versus Westwood. Why would we not take the over 5.5? Okay, so let me just, sorry, I've been trying to get to this angle for me in this game. So, and let's just see where the cash is. Sorry, with this. Sorry, we have 77% money line tickets on the Rangers, 57% of tickets on the over. So the Rangers come in on the second half of back-to-back. They lose their third game in 4 nights, 4-2 at the Avalanche. The Coyotes come in off their fifth straight loss, 5-3 at home to the Flyers on Saturday night. This bet is all predicated on Jacob Chychrun. Now, he 2016 first round pick 16th overall, I believe, and he's a really good young defenseman. And he hasn't felt that way this year. He's a minus 29 in 26 games. And he isn't on the ice for every important play of the game. Every single important play, Chychrun's out there. And it's getting him down. It's weighing him down. Because nobody on that team, I believe, has a plus minus worse than about a minus 11. And here he's got a minus 29 in 26 games. But he's a very good young defenseman. And he's out. They have nobody to fill this spot. They have nobody. I mean, you can't have Ghost Despair out there in these crucial situations. Without Chychrun, and I know he's a minus 29, he's been bad, they're screwed. They're absolutely screwed. Does that mean that you want to take a Rangers team total over? With big favorites, you have to take that 3.5. And I imagine that's what Nut Flush Allen's going to do. He's had great success doing that. They're also missing Zingle and centers Jay Beagle and Johan Larsson. And Beagle and Larsson aren't very good centers, but you take 2 of your top 4 centers out of the lineup. So, I don't want Kincaid in there, but it doesn't matter. I love that Coactus. I love that. But taking Chychrun out there, I think that we should fade the Arizona Coyotes every single game while he's out of the lineup. And that is going to be my plan here. He was not in the lineup against the Flyers. The Flyers easily scored 5 goals. And I'm going to thank you, Lamont Williams. I'm going to definitely talk about all of your action. And thank you for sharing it here. It's a max parlay. Anaheim Ducks solo over 3. Lipscomb, Florida State full game under 142.5. Thank you for sharing that with us. So that's my plan. So I did do exactly that. I'm on the Rangers first period minus a half at plus 130. I love that Birdie goes for the first 10 minutes for the huge scores. I respect that. I'm a little more safe. I'm also on the Rangers full game minus 1.5 at plus 115. I don't care that it's the second half of a back-to-back. They are just so much better. Every team in the league is so much better than this Coyotes team, and we got to take advantage of it. North Ender looking at the Rangers minus 2 line. I get that, but, and this is a real but, I don't know how much legs these guys are going to have late. So I would have a little concern of this. I would have a little concern of 2-0 after the first period, 3-0 after the second period, final score 3-1 or something like that. So Lee Davis joining us saying Bergeron and COVID-19 protocols. Thank you for sharing that with us. So I'm doubling up here on the Rangers. First period minus a half at plus 130. And Diehard MMA says, I think Rangers first period is a good look. Coyotes are scrappy and might fight their way back in. They will. I don't know if they'll fight their way back in, but they're going to have the energy late. And the Rangers will start probably just, dumping and, setting up a line of 5. I'm not entirely sure. Daniel Sommerdyke said this is a game the Rangers should win in the desert, and that's exactly why they want it. And I can hear the pigeons banging on the balcony. Paul Taylor, the Sailor, says sneaking away from work to tune in. Love the inputs from Jimmy in the chat. Thank you, Paul Taylor, the Sailor. Let's go. There's Maxwell Smart in the house. Oh, damn. I did not give Max a time to come in. That is my bad. So, Max, if it's cool with you, we'd like to go 12:45. So in an hour and 17 minutes, if that's okay with you, Max, just hit me on Twitter. My fault for that. A little caught up in my bullshit. Then we go to Seattle Kraken at Anaheim Ducks. This is the last game on the NHL card, and then we break into the 11-game NBA card. Kraken 9-15-3, 3-7-2 on the road. Ducks 16-9-5, 9-4-2 at home. Honda Center in Anaheim, California. We have Grubauer 7-11-3, 3.25 goals against average, 884 save percentage. I've not felt that Grubauer stepped up at times throughout his career, and now I think he's going to lose the starting job to Drieger. This is a very telling spot for him. I'm very curious to see how he plays tonight after Drieger was incredible last night. Anthony Stolarz looks like he's ready. It does. And John Gibson's hurt. And here's his chance. I'm very interested in what Stolarz can do now that he's going to know he's going to be in every second night. 5-2-1, 2.26 goals against average, 930 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Seattle power play 17.3%, penalty killing 82%. Anaheim power play 25.3%, penalty killing 86.7%. I moved on the Anaheim Ducks on the -1 line. I got plus 102. I believe it was a minus 155 money line and a plus 160 puck line. If anybody needs the puck line calculator, I don't think we've dropped it here in a minute. Let me just pop it in for you guys. It's crucial. It's very, very important, especially in Major League Baseball. That's where it's the most important. But here, I'm just going to pop that in here. And Kent Davis says Kraken defense looks good last night. You know, I think the fact that they have an 82% penalty kill, I mean, Yanni Gourde is a big part of the reason for that. But I think the fact that they have a really good penalty kill is not really good, but 82% is a sign that their defense will come around. Remember, we thought their defense was going to be really good, and they were not. They were not. J.A. said, just tune in. Are we liking the over in the Caps game? J.A., I don't want anything to do with the Caps game. You know, I don't. I don't want Backstrom in his first game back. I don't want the Caps without Tom Wilson. And I don't think I'm ever going to want the Blackhawks. So there's Kevin Limebeer back in action. Nice to see you, Limebeer, in the house. We've missed you, buddy. So, okay, let's quickly go over this. So Yanni Gourde, center and left winger, is out with Riley Sheehan and Colin Blackwell. They're all out with COVID. Jaden Schwartz and Jordan Eberle are combined minus 25. That is unacceptable. The Ducks coming off their third win in 4 games, 3-2 at St. Louis on Sunday night. Getzlaf is back from injury. They're still missing Adam Henrique. Troy Terry, Trevor Zegras, Sonny Milano have been so good this year. This is a team on the rise. It really is. And our guy, Jimmy Gomez, has the Ducks to win the division at plus 125. Or, 125 to 1. So, a huge score. Huge score looking at him. So that's plus, the hell is that? That's plus 125,000. Right? Plus 125,000. Is that right? Well, I'm sorry, I'm barely sleeping. Okay, so Eric Nisbet. Thank you, Eric Nisbet, for the kind words. There's Jimmy Gomez saying, we'll see. You know what, Jimmy? What it does set up for you is you'll likely be able to find yourself a hedge and cash. So, it just puts you in great shape. So, all right. I can still hear the pigeons banging on my balcony, and it's messing with my head. Okay, so there you have it. We have our action all in. 3 bets for me. Rangers first period -0.5 at plus 130. Rangers full game -1.5 at plus 115. Ducks -1 at plus 102. That is my NHL action. And we move on. And Puzzler says Yanni Gourde has an estimated return for tonight. What we don't see, Puzzler, and I'm not saying that they won't, but what we don't see is these guys coming back from COVID on the road ever. Not saying that he won't come back, but it's just something that we just never see. We see them coming in at home. All right, let's get to work and move on to the NBA. And we have just the man for the job coming off back-to-back very, very nice nights. And he didn't get rewarded the way he should have on Friday because the capping was spectacular, and he didn't get rewarded the way he should have. Kings first half, this was on Friday, -103 was a casher. Mavericks first quarter team total over 26.5. He lost by 0.5 point. That was his only loss on the card. Then he got unlucky with the Rockets. First quarter +3, full game +9 was push. And both of those spots looked like they were going to be winners. Cavs first quarter -106, he was adamant about. and I even went back and watched it. He was adamant about it, and it was an easy casher. Celtics first quarter plus 1.5 was an easy casher. He now finds himself 19-15 on the show, hitting at 55.9%, plus 2.8 units, ROI plus 8.24%, average line minus 108. Naibal Alvarez coming back from his birthday. I hope it was a great birthday, my man. He had a delicious porterhouse steak inside the charcoal room inside Palace Station Casino in Vegas. All right, let's get into NBA and bring in our NBA expert. It's DERL in the house, coming to us live from Los Angeles. How are you, my man?
Jimmy, what is good, brother? What is good? All I can say is, man, it has been a great week. Hey, I wanted to give you some shine. As soon as my phone goes off, look at that. Yeah, I wanted to give you some shine here, man. I know I don't think people know how much work is involved doing a show. And you get up, man, and you do this for the people for hours a day. It's a lot of work, man. I just want to give you some shine for that on how easy you make it look. So the first thing I want to say is shout out to you, brother. I hope you do this from here till infinity. Let's just get into it, man. I'm ready. It's a large slate today, a lot of games. I'm ready to work.
I love it. Let's do just that. And, I was really angry and frustrated this morning just coming on the show. I just read one comment from Dan Kelly and I started laughing. And everything changes. And so I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful to cap with you. Just your energy off the top, seeing you with your arms like that. Just off the top.
Man, that's my flex. I'm wearing. I had to dedicate this show to Steph, so I had to wear my strength in numbers jersey, man. It's been a good damn week. So it's hump day. Let's hump these tickets. Pause.
Let's do exactly that. We got Billy Brisbane in the house. Let's go, Brandon, Nilo. A great group here to cap. Lex Steele, Real Deal Prime. Let's get right to work. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Houston Rockets, 9-18, 2-12 on the road. At Cleveland Cavaliers, 17-12, 8-7 at home at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's start with the market that we are dealing with here. And you came very close, and you deserved better than 3-1. You came very close to 6-0 on Friday. Your capping was very, very on point, and your leans that you didn't follow through with cashed as well.
Yeah,
and that's the second straight week of unabashed success from you, and we are all very excited to work with you right now. So let's fire away. We start with this Rockets-Cavs game. Cavs open up at -9. They're now at -9.5. I wonder, that's at Pinnacle. I wonder if this is a stale line here at Bet365 that they're offering. It is. So I'm going to not look at that. So they do have 8.5 here on my site, but they're at 9. So we have 9s or 9.5. This total at 217.5. Let's go over to the cash flow in this spot. We have 5,409 tickets in, 28% of the tickets on the Rockets, and 58% of the cash on the Rockets. So it looks like sharp action on the Rockets. 93% of tickets on the over, 98% of cash on the over. Okay. Last 5, Houston 3-2, although both teams have won 8 of 10 games. 3-2, 23rd in pace at 96.30 possessions a game. Eric Nisbet says the market is caught up to the Cavs. That was my first thinking.
Yes.
That was my first thinking.
That's
when I looked at that.
Good comment there. Absolutely.
Cleveland last 5, 4-1, third in pace at 100.70 possessions games. Rockets snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 132-126 win at Atlanta on Monday night. Houston scored 44 points in the fourth quarter, outscored the Hawks by 19 in the period. Eric Gordon and DJ Augustine combined for 26 in the fourth. And DJ Augustine's had a job in the NBA and sometimes as a starter because of his character. This guy is just well-known in the league for being a guy you can count on, a guy who'll come off the bench, a guy who'll say all the right things, a guy who can be trusted. And everything that Eric Gordon has done over the last 2 years while his team has fallen apart around him and he's stuck there and not said anything negative and kept hitting threes, I've been very impressed with him. I like both these guys very much. Cavs coming off their 4th straight win and 8th in their last 10, 105-94 at home over the Heat on Monday. And here you have another situation where you have veterans like Kevin Love and Ricky Rubio coming in off the bench and playing very good basketball for this team that's full of young, up-and-coming stars. Here we go. Daryl Rice in the house. Pub Sports Radio. First game on the docket. Rockets, Cavs. Take it away.
I like that guy's comment, whoever that was, because this is going to be the first of many games that you see Cleveland not being the dog. Now, I've always liked Cleveland as the dog, right? And we could go to the well with them first quarter because they were the dog and how well they played in the first quarter. But now they're laying points, and they're laying a hell of a lot of points here. And they're playing against a team who's pretty hot, who in the last 5, even though they've lost those games, they've covered the spread. They've covered the spread, and that's Houston. They covered the spread against Atlanta. Obviously, that was a 44-point blowout in the fourth quarter. They covered the spread against Memphis, and they covered the spread by the hook against Milwaukee. So I was looking at some numbers. Cavs are still first in the league, man, in first quarter ATS. Now, what makes them good, though, and I've said this before, is they are great away. They are better away than at home. So that gave me cause for pause for a minute there, because I know that I didn't really want to step on them, A, being at home, and B, not being the dog here. But Houston, in the last 3, has played some really great teams, and they're actually doing pretty well. I think this is a chess match here. This is going to be a chess match between 2 great young coaches, and I really couldn't get to. I was leaning Cleveland first quarter, but I'm going to do something different here. I'm going to take Cleveland first half. I'm going to step on Cleveland first half here, and I think Cleveland first half is who gets it done. I was leaning Houston first quarter, and I also believe this game is going to go over 212 or 217. I saw it at 212, I believe. Is that what it opened up at, 212? Well, no, that was the average numbers, 212.
Pinnacle opened this at 217.
Yeah, 217. I think this game still goes over. I honestly do. But I'm going to step on the Cleveland first half. Give me by the end of the show, I might take the total over and the Houston first quarter.
Exciting. Okay.
And Jimmy, give me 1 second. I'm going to switch up to my sexy camera while you're talking too.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. Okay. So let's line shop for DERL here. So we have Rockets minus 4.5 at minus 105. Let's see if Circa might be able to beat that here. Circa giving out really nice numbers of late. And their first half full of limits. Wow, minus 5.5. Okay, they're not coming close to beating that. So then let's just make sure. I just have a feeling the site's just not been updating very well. So I would just like to bring up Pinnacle and FanDuel just so I know that we aren't giving out stale lines. As we've been taught by the great Peter Loshak, never to give out stale lines. So let me just go over here quickly. This will just take 1 second. And we are talking about this Cavaliers spot. Huh. Really? I find it hard to believe. They really pulled? Wow. They have pulled the Cavaliers game at Pinnacle. Is there any COVID?
Any COVID news with this team?
That's what I'm wondering. Let's see if Bet365 has done. No, Bet365 has it up. So, okay. I want to see if I can get you a minus 4.5 here. But it looks like we'll have 5s available, which I was hoping to beat. FanDuel has it up too. I don't know why Pinnacle doesn't have it up. That's strange. Okay, so let's just move over to the half here at FanDuel. Can FanDuel get you the 4.5? No. So these are some stale lines here. Huh, interesting. Okay, so the best I can get you is a minus 5 for the first half. That minus 5. And let's just lock that in, and I'll see if I can beat it. But I'm surprised that that's the best number. Minus 5 and minus 110. You know, I'm going to pull up a couple other books just to make sure that we're getting you the best line available. But DERL starts this card with the Cavs first half, minus 5 and minus 110. And I know that these spots here, here with the Rockets, there's situations that we want to get over. We want to jump over them. But the fact that the last game against Atlanta was so high scoring at 158, and this market opened up at 217 or 217 and a half, and the money is coming in on the over, and Pinnacle's dropped the juice and made the over more. But that actually, it's not even up at Pinnacle. So why would I? That's what had happened before they shut this game down. All right, some confusion over markets. I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, looks like they have freshened this up though. They do have now Pinnacle at -5, but this total here opened. The first half opened juice to the over 110.5. Now it's juice to the under, and for the full game here for the total, it was opened at 217 -105. It quickly went up to -108, and then at 10 in the morning, big moves towards the under. So because of what everybody has just seen, I'm not going to be moving on the over. Dan Clay said, I hope you all got on the Cavs to win the East. Average age of the 5 starters is 21.6 years old. Mobley, Okoro, Garland, Allen, Markkanen. Young teams get a lot better as the season goes on. All right, there you have it. We have
real quick, Corey. Now that I've got my sexy mic on and my good camera, I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
Have you seen the last 3 for Houston and Cleveland? Like, their numbers are up. Even if you take away the points that Houston scored against Atlanta, last 3 with these teams right now, Houston has moved up from 18th to 4th place, averaging 117.3. And Cleveland has moved all the way up to like 8th place, going from 106 to 115. So I do believe this game goes over by a whole bunch.
Well, now would be the time to move on it. Do you want to bet? Well, actually, now wouldn't be. Why don't we just keep an eye on? You know what?
Yeah,
it's dropping fast. So Circa just dropped it to 216. So there's heat coming in on the under right now. So that's dropped a full point.
Something's going on with this game. Then something's going on.
It's
anybody in the chat know what's going on with that? What is good?
It just dropped a 1.5 at Circa. Remo says, you think we might see a full shutdown of leagues over COVID? Seems more and more games are getting canceled and players daily are getting added to protocols. God, I hope not. I really, look, I can't guess what's going to happen with COVID anymore because it just keeps smacking us in the face. So
it's crazy, bro.
Okay. About Buck says we got to be realistic. They're talking about something else. Tom and Tom Racing, thank you for the kind words. Okay, so if you want the over, why don't we just revisit it in 45 minutes?
Nope, we'll revisit. Let's go.
Cool. All right, next up, 7 p.m. Eastern, Atlanta Hawks at Orlando Magic. Hawks 13-14, 5-8 on the road. Magic 5-23, 2-8 at home at Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. Atlanta over their past 5, dealing with injuries. Now 1-4. They're 5th in pace, though, 99.40 possessions a game, while Orlando 0-5, 8th in pace at 98.70 possessions a game. Mike M says, no way the NHL players go to the Olympics this year. That's going to suck. It sucks so much. God, I was just drooling over that roster. I hope the Players Association can figure out something for us because we want to watch Team Canada so badly. Okay, let's take a look at the market here in this Hawks Magic spot. We have, that's first half. Let's go over the full game right now. And I don't think this is updating. And I apologize for this, but I have Atlanta as 8-point road favorites across the board. Will Hill at 7.5, and this total at 223. There is a 222.5 on the board. When we go over to the cash flow in this spot, 4,602 tickets in, 31% of the tickets on the Magic and 45% of the cash. Then you have 56% of tickets on the under and 81% of the cash on the under. I'm shocked that Atlanta could be 8-point road favorites really against anybody right now. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh, but yeah, I just with their injuries and Trae Young doing everything for them. I mean, he's playing out of his mind, and they're still losing. They've lost 5 of 7. Young went for 41 points, 14 of 22 shooting, and they lose. Bogdanovich misses his 6th straight game. DeAndre Hunter with wrist surgery. Solomon Hill done for the year. Magic come in not being swept in all 5 games of their just concluded Western road trip. They finished with a 106-94 loss at the Lakers on Sunday. The trip wasn't as bad as it looked. 2 of those 5 games they lost on last-second buckets. Cole Anthony, 21 points in that loss to the Lakers. 4 Magic's 4 Magic players scored in double figures. Anthony, 22.7 points, shot 40.4% from 3 over his last 6 games. Wagner leads all NBAs with 17 games, scoring 15 or more points. Now, Mo Bamba has a sprained right ankle that he is dealing with right now. Take it away, Daryl. Hawks Magic.
You've kind of talked me off the game. I thought this was going to be an Atlanta smash spot, if you ask me. I really did. I thought this would be an Atlanta smash spot because of the egg they laid against Houston. But now when I think about it, it seems like it was more of an Atlanta letdown than it was Houston domination. So I looked at this game. Atlanta, second in the last three games, points per game. So they are putting up points. And you're going to have a game to where you got 223 as the total. I don't think, and I said it here in the beginning, I do not think that, or Atlanta nor Orlando can stop a runny nose, a bloody nose for that case. I'm looking right now at the team total, and I put on my paper because I didn't have a number yesterday, but I do believe the team total for Atlanta is the look here. So they're averaging around 124, and Orlando is allowing 118 points per game. So if I'm looking at their team total, I'm going to look right now and see what they are. It seems like the play. I mean, you've got 29 points, 29 and a half points as Atlanta's bet for first quarter, right? They have to put up that many points for you to win. I don't see a team total for them. There we go. Total points. That's just first quarter, 29 and a half, and that's juice to the over. So I would love to get a number on the team total for the entire team or for the entire game. And that would be my lean there. It would be Atlanta team total over against Orlando Magic. I know that, Atlanta still has depth, a little bit of depth to where they can put up some shots and score some buckets. Even with the injuries, they are in the last 3 still ranked in the top, they're second in the league in points per game. So if you have a number for their team total, I'd love to see what it is because I didn't get one yesterday. So 111, are you kidding me? 111? If it's 111 and there's no COVID news about Atlanta or Orlando, correct?
None that I have. The team total for the Magic is 107.5. The team total for the Hawks is 115.5 at Pinnacle.
Okay, so 118 is their average. Yeah, man. I'm going to step on this. Give me Atlanta team total over 115.
All right, let's lock Daryl in. Daryl, Hawks team total over 115.5. I believe I said minus 108. Let me just double check that. Minus 108. This is strange here. The Sharps seem to be coming in on the Magic. It's early, and it's gone from 7 to 8.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is a spot? I mean, I like backing teams off of a coming home after a seemingly terrible road trip that wasn't really as bad as it looks. If Mo Bamba is out, how bad does that hurt these Hawks, especially in a matchup with, Capella?
A lot.
So,
it hurts a lot. Orlando doesn't have any defense. I mean, come on. This team is still a 5-win team. You know who has more wins than Orlando? Houston.
Oh, here for the latest from Jamal Mosley is he expects Mo Bamba to play Wednesday. So
I don't care, man.
I don't think this affects your 115.5 over. I think you're in a good spot there. I don't see why the Hawks would be sitting here. Piker says the over is cashing at 100% following a straight up loss for Atlanta. Let's ride with Daryl on this one.
Astute is saying, Daryl, stop on the analysis with the ATL team total. Huh? Tell me why.
I think he just thinks you're right. I think he thinks that you got it. Let's move on. That's what I take from it. That's what I think. Daryl's got it. Let's just move on to the next spot. That's all I take from it. Okay, I think I'm going to move on Magic +8 here. I think that. Oh yeah, because you said it was spot on. See, I know my guys do chaos, man. I've capped him for years.
Oh, see, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask Astute because I've seen him a lot. Usually Astute with me, so I got to ask him why he told me to stop. But yeah, it's the team total, man. It should go here. I was just looking at their last numbers. I mean, they lost against Brooklyn, but they put up 105 against Brooklyn, 121 against Minnesota for what it's worth. I mean, Minnesota still sucks too.
Sorry, he meant spot on analysis. Okay, so yeah, buzzer thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
right,
yeah,
okay. Sorry,
I'm going to step on that. Atlanta team total over the 115. Let's do it.
You got 115.5 minus 108, and I expect to move on Magic +8. I expect them to be in this basketball game. Next up, 7 p.m. Eastern, Miami Heat 16-12, 8-8 on the road at Philadelphia 76ers, 15-13, 6-6 at home. We're at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Miami 2-3 over their past 5, 21st in pace at 96.60 possessions a game. Philadelphia 3-2, 25th in pace at 95.22 possessions a game. I can understand the anger towards betting in the NBA. I can completely understand it when we're sitting here in a situation with a situation when you're trying to bet the Sixers and you find out 20 minutes before that not only will Embiid not be in the lineup, but Seth Curry won't be in the lineup either.
Yeah.
I mean, it's making things extremely difficult. This has the Sixers at -5.5 across the board. This total at 205.5 or 205, depending on where you shop. And then we have, from a cash flow scenario, we have these Sixers, 3,530 tickets in, 58% of tickets on the Sixers, 86% of the cash. Then 79% of tickets and 84% of cash on the over. It is a low total. Astute Chaos says, I lean Miami, Philadelphia first half over. Billy Briz says, you know the damn deal, 76ers first quarter at home with Embiid. It's been the most profitable thing you can bet on in all of the NBA. And tell me he didn't just say that. Says Magic going to play hard till the end, so at the very least back door will be open. And then he says that's what she said. It was all very factual until the end.
All factual.
The Heat had their modest 2-game winning streak snapped in a 105-94 loss at Cleveland on Monday. PJ Tucker, 23 points. Lowry, 22. Hero, 12. They dressed 11 players. No Jimmy Butler. He missed his 4th straight game with a bruised tailbone. Caleb Martin is in COVID protocols. No Bam. No Markieff Morris. And, of course, no Oladipo. Sixers coming off their second loss in 3 games, 126-91 at Memphis. Again, Sixers are 3-8 without Embiid this season.
Yeah.
And not having Seth hurts bad. Tyrese Maxey stepped up for 23 points, but where is Tobias Harris? Where is he when you really need him? This has been said often about him. They were 4 of 22 from 3. Take it away here, Daryl. Heat, Sixers.
So once again, somebody in the chat had it right, man, because right up under Cleveland, right? And right up under, who is it next? The Spurs in the first quarter. Do you know who's number 3? Philly, man. First quarter ATS with Philly, 17-9, right? They're 8-6-1 away. They're 9-3 at home. And they're playing against a decimated Heat team here. Now, this same decimated Heat team, if I'm right, did smack Milwaukee, right? I have a move, and it would be on the first quarter, but I can't do anything at all until I know this final injury report, because this is going to be the front end of a back-to-back for Philly. They're going to turn around and play Brooklyn, who is also decimated. If KD didn't go on that ankle, then they would have forfeited that game. So this is one of these cases here where I want to see where the final injury report is. Do you get Embiid for 2 back-to-back games if he has ribs being his issue? If he does, then I think he's going to miss one of these games. I don't know if it'll be this one or tomorrow against Brooklyn. So the first quarter is the look on this. I do believe you'll probably see maybe a 1.5 or 2 on this.
Sorry to interrupt, but Tyler Hero has been ruled out.
Yeah, he's out.
Game. Yeah, I didn't have him on my list. You guys are right. Hero has been out. Thank you for throwing this out to us. I didn't have that.
Yeah. So I mean, now you're even more decimated. Now you're digging deeper into your roster. I mean, Kyle Lowry is going to carry the load. Duncan Robinson's going to carry the load as well, but not give you as much defense. And then you're getting into your bigs like Dwayne Dedmon, right? So, yeah, but Miami's decimated. You should see this line rise, but if the line rises, then that means Embiid is probably playing. But I'm going to wait for the injury report, the final injury report. This will probably be a late game I get to. But whoever called that in the chat, the first quarter, man, people are quietly sleeping on Philly at home first quarter. They're ranked number 3 in the league right now.
Yeah. So because they got beaten up so badly, God, they have Brooklyn tomorrow night.
Yeah. But Brooklyn's decimated. I mean, they're playing with the minimum, right? They're playing with 8 players.
Uh-huh.
So all these guys just got into COVID. You've got KD on a bum ankle, who went out and beat them in overtime, Toronto yesterday. I don't know if he doesn't play, then they can't play tomorrow. But I just don't see how Embiid plays both of these games. I don't see it.
And it's also possible that the game is canceled tomorrow. Is that right?
That's very possible. So maybe he plays this game, but it's ribs, right? If anything, it benefits him to sit this game. And if they cancel tomorrow's game, that's even better for him. He's gotten more rest. So I don't know how Doc is going to play this. If I was Doc, I would depend on my other set pieces to win against a decimated Miami who's lost their deep threat.
What about the angle? Northander says if he's there for shoot-arounds, I think he plays. What about the angle that we're at home and you have your fans paying hard-earned money to come watch their team play?
Yeah, man, I think that's kind of done now. If you want me to tell you the psychology of players and coaching, these coaches are coaching for the postseason and these players are playing for the postseason. They can give 2 shits about who spends money, when, where, and how. I mean, I know it matters to us as fans, but I think if you gave everybody truth serum who plays in the league, they're really going to tell you, we don't give a damn about not playing at home unless it's a game that matters. I don't think this game really matters. Not when they don't have all of their set pieces. It's different when you're competing. Well, you are obviously competing. And let me just say, I'm generally speaking here. This doesn't mean that it applies to everyone in the league, right? But I just think you have some teams, specifically Doc, who was notorious for sitting players, right? For sitting his players. You're not even playing against the best Miami team, right? So, yeah, you do play him, but at some point in time, if the guy's got problem with his ribs, you want to give him as much time to heal as possible. So I just don't buy into that theory any much more than probably, say 90s ball, right? But yeah, today, I don't think it's the same.
Tell me you didn't just say that, since I see Sixers wanting to jump out early so they can rest ahead of a back-to-back. Don't trust Sixers full game, but think coming out strong is a good look, Embiid or not. So I like this look, Sixers first quarter. I think it makes a ton of sense. I can understand waiting. To know for sure that Embiid's going to be in. But if he's in the shoot around, he's at home. Again, and I keep going back to this, but these, with injuries and with COVID and the way the teams have invested so much money in their facilities with their doctors, everything at home set up, that's where teams want their players to be playing, when they have all of their staff there, all looking after them. So I think Sixers first quarter makes a ton of sense, and I expect to move on it. So let's keep rolling. We will see if Daryl attacks this game at some point. Again, he can just tag me anytime he does a show, day of show, to add any action. We go to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Los Angeles Lakers 15-13, 5-6 on the road at Dallas Mavericks 14-13, 7-6 at home. American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. The Lakers are 3-2, 6 over the last 5, 16th in pace at 97.8 possessions a game, while the Mavericks are 3-2, 30th in pace at 91.50 possessions a game. We have these Lakers as 1-point dogs right now, and the total opening up at 214, and there are some 213.5 on the board. Then we have 3,946 tickets in, 75% of the tickets, 88% of the cash on the Lakers, 76% of the tickets, 74% of cash on the over. This is another tricky situation. Do you cap this game with both AD and Luka out? I will have to hear how Daryl handles that. Anthony Davis missed last 2 games with soreness in his left knee. They were last seen winning their second straight game, 106-94 at home versus the Magic on Sunday. LeBron, 101st triple-double, 30, 11, and 10. And he said he took a 4-hour pregame nap for his latest outburst. That's what his career has come to. The Mavs come in off their second straight win, 120-96 at home versus Charlotte on Monday night. Kristaps Porzingis had 24 and 13. They've won consecutive games for the first time since mid-November. Burke, Hardaway, and Josh Green went for 48 off the bench. Luka has now missed the last 2 games with left ankle soreness. The Mavs were 0-4 without him before sweeping the back-to-back. They were, sweeping 2 teams that are hurting right now, and it doesn't mean a ton, but they are victories nonetheless. Take it away, Daryl. Lakers, Mavericks.
Yeah, man, I don't want to sound like a homer here, but I do believe this is a Laker spot. I do. They've kind of turned it around on 2 shitty teams, one being Orlando and then the other being OKC, which that was definitely a revenge spot for him because OKC did get him in the infamous they were up 26 points and OKC got him back. This game, man, just really feels like a Laker game, and that line is showing it. Last night when I looked at this line, it was Dallas -1, and now we're at Dallas +1.5. So they're home dogs now. The line is completely swapped. I believe you're seeing Russell Westbrook kind of come alive here and start to get work done. I think there was a number saying that he was over 40 or 50% from the field now, so his shooting has gotten a lot better. Luka is not playing. Kristaps Porzingis is still playing the post really good. I just feel like this is a Lakers spot. Call this more of a field game. And I would be the first to tell you if I'm going to be off a Laker game. I told you they weren't going to get my money at all last week. Nope. Not going to do it. So it's just one of these spots, man, to where I feel like Lakers are rested. They hadn't played since the 12th. They don't play again until the 17th, and that's going to Minnesota. That's in 2 days. Dallas played on the 13th. They don't play until the 19th. So you're going to be able to see both teams go kind of balls to the wall here. They're both up on first quarter points. They're both up on points per game, but they're kind of neck and neck. I didn't realize that. So they're kind of neck and neck on points per game. Lakers in their last 3 are down 105.7 to their average of 113.3, and Dallas in the last 3 105.3 to their average of 104. So their points are kind of up just about a point, and the Lakers points are down about 6 points. So I do believe you'll see a slower pace game. It totally explains the 213.5 number. I have a lean here, and I think I'm going to get here also with the Lakers being the favorites. I think they can get this by a bucket in Dallas. I really do. They've kind of turned this around. Professionals are professionals are professionals. I say that all the time, Jimmy. So because you still have 2 shit teams, but if that's those 2 shit teams where it takes you to kind of change the course of that ship and get it right, then so be it. And you saw that happen with the Lakers these last 2 games. Luka's out of there. That means a lot. I do think this is a Lakers side here. Haven't pulled the trigger, but that is a lean for me also.
Yeah, I really think that Fanatical Jim and Glenn Elliott, man, are bang on here that if you do like the Lakers, that everyone should wait here. So Taylor Horton Tucker has COVID.
He has COVID
with everybody. Right before
and they stopped practice early, remember? So they did stop their practice early when he went into health and safety protocols. So you need to see what's going on with these testings that happen, right away here, because you might have some people that just get late scratches. They may test positive. I'd be curious to see how many people test positive for the Lakers because of THT.
And right now, who do we have? Malik Monk, who would have been replacing a lot of THT's minutes. He is entered the health and safety protocols. Dwight Howard has also entered the protocols.
There it goes.
So
there it goes. Oh, Jimmy, there it goes, man.
Yeah. So at this point, I can understand the under. Yeah. But even that, I would need to then write out who is going to be in the lineup and who will be backing up who before I could move on it. So great point from everybody in the chat. And it's so crucial that we do this for each other right now with all this garbage going on. So Yeah. So when you hear no Malik Monk, no Dwight Howard, when you hear all that, does that make you want to stay off?
Yes, I would stay off. That's what I'm saying. It was a lean toward the Lakers. I did agree with the line movement, but you just might see this line flip-flop again, right? So I would just wait on this. I still like Lakers regardless. It just depends on the people you're losing, right? If you've got to have Westbrook go the whole nine, you got to have Carmelo go out there, Anthony Davis, who's now possibly probable, and of course LeBron James. I would still feel good about it, but you just have to wait and see on this one. Totally agree with you waiting on this to see what happens after these testings.
All right, let's move on to another game full of COVID implications. Indiana Pacers at Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks open up as 1-point favorites. You have Indiana as 2-point favorites right now. Let me just see if that has changed at all. That has not. That's current. And then you have the total opening up at 218, and Pinnacle's moved it to 217 here. We have 3,757 tickets in, 75% of the tickets on the Pacers, 73% of the cash market moving towards them, 59% of tickets, 84% of cash on the over. There was a time when Giannis would be out of the lineup when I would say, oh man, what a perfect opportunity for us to bet the over. But this isn't it. Chris Middleton with a left knee hyperextension. He's questionable. This team just isn't flowing the way they were, and their pace used to speed up without Giannis on the floor. Now, I can't tell you what the hell is going to happen without Giannis on the floor. Pacers 12-17, 3-10 on the road. Bucks 18-11, 9-4 at home at Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Both teams 3-2 over the past 5. Indiana's pace 29th in the league, 92.60 possessions a game. Very slow. Milwaukee 3-2, fourth at 99.60 possessions a game. 7 more possessions a game these Bucks get. Pacers had their 3-game winning streak snapped in a 102-100 loss at home versus the Warriors on Monday night. Sabonis goes for 30-11, 12-17 shooting. Malcolm Brogdon 23-8-6. LeVert 19-5. And the Bucks dealing with COVID issues. So Giannis, Wesley Matthews are in protocols. They come in having their 2-game winning streak snapped in a 117-103 loss at Boston on Monday night. Take it away, Daryl. Pacers, Bucks.
Yeah, so the Pacers are still ranked number 1 in first half scored points, right? And then the last 3, they're averaging 3 more than their season average. So they're averaging 57 for the season, 60 in the last 3. Now, just looking back, I mean, these 60 points in the last 3, they played Golden State, Dallas, and New York. These are not the worst teams in the league, and they're still averaging 60. I like Indy first half. I like them better when the number was at 1.5. Either way, I still believe they can carry that momentum, especially when you don't have your best players in. Right? If you don't have Middleton going in there, that's a wrap. If you don't have Giannis, who is definitely out because of COVID, that's a wrap. So my lean here, and I'm probably going to text this out, is going to be Indy first half here. I believe they can get it done because remember, we've always talked about Indy not being a second half team. This is probably what's the problem with this team. Looking at it, seems like there's a fire sale right now. It seems like there's a fire sale on this team. No one's happy with Carlisle. Carlisle didn't want to come to a team to where he was going to have to start all over. And Lloyd Pierce is playing for a head coaching job, or he's coaching for a head coaching job. So it looks like the angle here would still be to go back to the well with Indy first half because they're ranked first in the league. They're ranked first in the league, first half. Looking at OddsShark at the most updated record here now, they are third in the league as far as ATS, right? So they're right behind the Bucks. They're right behind the Bucks. The thing is Pacers do better at home than away, but at the same token, you have set pieces out for the Bucks. And because the Pacers score the most points in the first half, I believe they can get it done. I am leaning, heavy lean, Indiana Pacers first half.
Well, you can get that at Pinnacle at -0.5 at -110.
What's the whole deal with the half? I mean, you just going ahead and either, get some value, right, and get it to a point, or just take the money line and lose value, right?
Well, there's a huge difference here at Pinnacle. Well, I don't know. It's just about implied probability. So Pacers first half -0.5 at -110 compared to the money line at -120.
Right. It's a half a point.
Do you want to keep the tie in play for a push? It's minus 120s will hurt you in the end.
What is Pacers? Let's go ballsy here. This is my reckless play of the day. What is Pacers -2 first half?
Let's see what I can get you. At this point, I'm not sure if they're going to give me alternate lines on the first half. Let me see if I can get to all markets. Here we go. First half handicap. No, I'm not getting it there. I could probably get it over here at Bet365, and they've got the same deal. They've got the exact same numbers. So let's go over to props. And no, they don't have the first half.
First half, Pinnacle -2 is plus 115 for the Pacers.
I'm gonna go ballsy here. Thanks, Jose. Thanks. I'm going ballsy. Give me an alt line, Indiana Pacers -2 first half.
Oh shit! There it is. My bad. I didn't click the right button. Yeah, -2 plus 115, -2.5 plus 123. That's as high as it goes up.
I'll take the -2, just in case I get a push here.
Pacers first half -2 at plus 115 for DERL. That's a fascinating look. I think that the fact that the Pacers are 12-17, 3-10 on the road means that they don't give the Bucks any compassion whatsoever and beat them badly here tonight.
Is Carlisle back, or is he still out for his 10 days?
That is a very important question because it's right around time where let me just see if that's happening. Oh, by the way, the game is back on the board, the Cavs game, and also so that's at 217 back on the board at Pinnacle. And more important than that is that it's gone up a half point even at circa from 216 to 216 and a half. Yeah,
interesting.
So yeah, he's going to be still out. He's still out. He's going to miss multiple games. So he started with the Friday game, so he's definitely still out. So no Carlisle on the bench.
Okay, yeah. So remember what I said last week about Lloyd Pierce playing faster? And he's going to play a faster game, be real competitive. I mean, they beat Dallas. That was the 10th they played, right? They've played 2 games since. They played on the 10th and the 13th. So I know he got a lot of flack in Atlanta, and that was a high scoring fast team there. I think he's going to get more comfortable playing with what he has here, giving these guys a lot of confidence, knowing that they don't like Carlisle. I think Pacers are going to come out to play against a decimated team. I will take that value any day with the -2. I think they get it done here.
Very cool bet here for DERL. Pacers first half -2 at plus 115. Let's roll on. 8 p.m. Eastern. New Orleans Pelicans 8-21, 4-12 on the road. And you know what's happened here over the last 25 minutes is my energy's being sucked out of me because of all this COVID bullshit.
Dude.
And everybody in the chat saying our sport's going to shut down again. And I'm trying not to let it
not to even think about that. Isn't that fucking crazy though, bro? That is insane. I was talking to my brother about that. And do we just need to bubble wrap everybody and head back to Orlando now, Jimmy? Do we need to tell Silver to shut shit down for 2 weeks? Just, a 2-week intervention here? What's good, man? You don't know.
Well, you know what? If I'm going to have to start drinking every day and betting horses all day and all night, it could, my family will not be happy. But a man's got to do what a man's got to do. So Pelicans 8-21, 4-12 on the road. Oklahoma City 8-18, 4-9 at home. Paycom Center, Oklahoma. OKC. Pelicans 2-3 over the past 5, 22nd in pace, 96.59 possessions game. And the Thunder 2-3 over their past 5 as well, 16th in pace at 97.80 possessions a game. Let's move over to the market in this spot. We have Pelicans opening up at -4, but at a plus line. Now we have 3.5s across the board. Then we have 211.5 opening line. Now we see 210.5s on the board. We have 2,320 tickets in, 68% of tickets, 93% of cash on the Pelicans, and 66% of tickets on the under. And we don't have a money count, but it has dropped a point. So that all makes sense. Pelicans coming off their 3rd loss in 4 games, 112-97 at the Spurs on Sunday. This is just a sad franchise. Who would have thought that looks like Zion Williamson is not coming back at all this year now? I mean, it's just horrible. Ingram is doing everything he can to keep them afloat, averaging 27 points, 6 assists, 5.7 boards. And they opened at 5-17. And then over the last 7 games, they've gone 3-4 because Brandon Ingram's back and he's playing good ball. In that 112-97 loss to San Antonio, Ingram was even in the plus-minus. No other Pelicans starter was better than -9. The Thunder enter off their second straight loss by 20-plus points, 103-84 at home to the Mavericks on Sunday night. They could be without Luguentz Dort. I'll check that out. He did sprain his left ankle Sunday in the loss late. Take it away here, DERL, Pelicans Thunder.
I don't want to take it away. I don't. No. I want to give it back to you. Honestly, I'll just give it back to you. What the fuck? I mean, these teams are combined for 16 wins. Like, there's nothing about this game that says I want to play it, that I am running to the goddamn window to play this game. So, no, I'm just going to give it back to you because I'm not playing any of this fucking game whatsoever. No, man. No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I don't even know what to cap here. I don't even know what to cap, honestly. So I don't want to take it away. I want to give it back to you. We just talk about the next game.
Dort is out, says Lee Davis. So Lee's trying to push us towards capping the game, which I respect. Dort is out. Mark Unkefer, he was the mascot for many years of the Gary Railcats in our chat, and I love that shit. I think it's so cool. He says, calling this trash is an insult to Jimmy's garbage can.
Awful. That is real slick, man. I like that. That's good shit there, Mark. That's good. Yeah, man. I do not want to take this game away at all, Mark. For real. This is absolutely basura. Just throw it away. Throw it away. Don't even go look and see what you threw away. Just throw it away, knowing that you threw away something very good.
Sammy Comer says these teams don't even deserve a graphic. Tyrone Coleman says Pelicans all day. Okay. Yeah, I don't want. Let's just move past it. We solid. We good. Next up, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Charlotte Hornets 15-14, 7-10 on the road at San Antonio Spurs, 10-16, 6-8 at home at AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas. Charlotte's pace over the last 5, 26th in the NBA at 94.73 possessions a game, while the Spurs are 14th at 98.10 possessions a game. These Spurs open up as 3-point favorites. They're now 3.5-point favorites. This total's gone from 228 to 227. From a cash flow perspective, we have 2,408 tickets in. 39% of the tickets on the Hornets, but 75% of the cash. So sharp bets, big bets coming in on the Hornets. 53% of tickets on the over and 99% on the over. Now, there's only 2,408 tickets in, so one big bet has come in on the over. Roland G says Spurs -3.5 all day. Hornets missing a couple players tonight. Interesting that the big bets have come in on the Hornets. It does give you pause. Hornets have been dealing with this COVID outbreak. They're coming in off a 129-6 loss at the Mavs on Monday. They have Terry Rozier returning to the team. He put up 20 points in that loss to Dallas. Kelly Oubre also went for 20. No Plumlee, no McDaniels, no LaMelo Ball, and no Ish Smith. So Plumlee and McDaniels are expected to be back tonight. And Ball and Smith are expected to be back as soon as Friday. Now, that's not a guarantee, but that's the plan. And that's probably why there is some big bets that have come in on them. Maybe they know more than we do at this point. Charlotte's lost 6 of its past 10. 2 of the losses come in overtime. They haven't been that bad, but they were bad against Dallas. Spurs play the final game of a 5-game homestand. I love the 4th game of a 5-game homestand. I start getting a little nervous about the final game unless there's something that needs to be done. They're coming off their second meeting. They need to finish off on a winning note. The Spurs come in off their second win in 3 games, 112-97 at home over the Pelicans on Sunday. Portal and Derek White each scored 24. DeWante Murray had a triple-double. Keldon Johnson went for 17. McBuckets went for 13. Lonnie Walker, 11. Murray, 10, 12, and 10. Portal also had 12 rebounds. 7 of those were offensive. Take it away here, Hornets Spurs, Daryl.
Man, I honestly believe this is a Spurs spot if I haven't seen it before in my life. Honestly, I'm going to jump on it now. Give me the Spurs -3.5. But I'm going to tell you something also that people don't know. Spurs are quietly ranked 2nd in the league in first quarter ATS. They are 19-7, right behind the Cavaliers. And they are 12-2 at home. I've always said, if you give Pop enough time to game plan, he will get a game plan in order to smack you. And this team is already decimated. They're already not a first half team. We talked about Borrego giving his players the cocaine at halftime, and then they come back to work. This, to me, man, I honestly feel that the Spurs can get it done, right? So the 3.5 I like, but let me do this. Let me lock in the first quarter right now. Give me Spurs first quarter, whatever that spread is, which is probably 1.5, right?
It's -1.
Yeah.
-106.
Yeah, let me jump on that. I was looking at the notes, man. Yeah, 12-2 at home as far as first quarter ATS. Yeah, I'll take that all day. Spurs first quarter against the spread, man. -1. They get it done. You give Pop enough time to game plan. I said this. I was confident with that Boston lean and they went out and beat Boston after they had like a 3 days rest. They haven't played since the 12th. Another 3 days. They are at home. Man, give me San Antonio to smack them in the first quarter. They pretty much have a full roster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I like I said Boston. Give me San Antonio in the first quarter to smack the shit out of Charlotte Hornets.
I love it. I think even the first quarter, first half spot, you're going to have all these players back from COVID. The rotation will be changed. I don't want to say out of whack, but changed.
Yeah.
JPD says Hornets start slow anyways. Dan T says, let's go Spurs.
Yeah.
Clearly, there's some sharp money that's come in on the Hornets, expecting players back.
But where is that money? Is it, I mean, you really can't tell a side, but it definitely can't be money on the first quarter, first half. If anything, it's going to be money on the full game because they're quietly in the top 3. I want to say Charlotte still is in the top 3 with second half points. So they come alive in the second half. This is why you got to respect James Borrego, because whatever adjustments he's making at halftime is working and they're coming back and winning games. But you got too many people out, man. Too many people out. And the Spurs, you give them time to game plan. These guys are averaging more points than Charlotte. They are second in the league in first quarter ATS. I could be quick to even be, hey, first half as well. But you just don't know. I do like first quarter, though.
I love it. I love the breakdown. I love the breakdown. I love the way you're seeing the board these last few weeks rolling with us. So I think it makes a ton of sense. Tell me you didn't just say that the Spurs attack the paint on offense. I don't see how Hornets stopped them with all the players missing. Seems like a bad matchup. And look, their forward group will be stronger, with Plumlee and McDaniels. But
PJ Washington's kind of been playing good, so.
Oh yeah, but I just mean having Plumlee McDaniels back into the lineup.
Gotcha.
It is going to change things. I like it. Lit picks going back to the well with Murray points, rebounds, and assists. Ray Charles going with total over 12.5. Let's roll on. And Nilo saying San Antonio 12-2 first quarter at home.
Yep, that's it. At home, and you have some rest here. So yeah, I like it.
I like it. All right, let's keep rolling. I'm gonna try not to think about all the time. I'm also supposed to get on an airplane on Friday with my family. I mean, this is just
yeah, you're in trouble.
Making me nervous. 9 p.m. Eastern. I got to get away from these pigeons, man. Minnesota Timberwolves 12-15, 5-6 on the road at Denver Nuggets 14-13, 8-4 at home. Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Minnesota 1-4 over their past 5, second in pace at 102.10 possessions a game, while Denver is 3-2, 13th in pace at 98.16 possessions a game. I haven't fully figured out how to bet totals right now this year. The pace has slowed down so much, and I just, for whatever reason, I haven't become in tune with it. Last year, in the last few years, I've been all over totals, and this year I'm just real snake bit and real. I don't know, nervous about it. It's just not coming into my head at this point. A top set says, come to Florida, Jim. It's open. Well, I tell you what, we're all meeting in San Antonio near the end of March, and that's going to happen. That's going to happen regardless. Okay, let's take a look at this spot here. Wolves, Nuggets. Nuggets open up at -4. They're now 4.5 across the board, and this total is skyrocketed up from 220.5 all the way up to 224. Wow. Timberwolves snapped their 5-game losing streak with a 116-111 win at Portland on Sunday. They've lost 12 straight games to the Denver Nuggets. There are certain teams, when they've lost that many games, I'm like, wow, watch this team step up. The Timberwolves are not one of them.
They're not.
They're 0-5 without D'Angelo Russell in the lineup, 12-10 with him in. I'm a little surprised, though, at that stat, to be honest with you. They lost 3 straight when he was out with a sore ankle. He comes back against the Blazers. He scores 18 points and a big 3, and They take care of business. Nuggets coming off their second straight win, third in 4 games, 113-107 at home versus the Wizards. And Jokic is having a better year statistically than he did last year as the MVP. Here we go. Wolves, Nuggets. Yes, Vitalis, we did do NHL. We'll review it at some point here soon. But Wolves, Nuggets, take it away.
Yeah. So Denver right now in the last 3 is ranked number 2 in first half points per game. But then they dropped to number 6 in points per game second half, right? So you're seeing them slow down or just kind of really not get it together during the second half. This team quietly is averaging more points. They're about 117 points, Jimmy. 117 points right now this team is averaging, which is up from their season average of 105 points. So that explains the over. That explains why money is coming in on the over. I honestly believe this is a Denver smash spot, right? You look at them, the last game they played, it was 91-93. However, Denver was on a back-to-back. So that explains a lot. And I just think this is a game that Denver should feast and feast easily. They're playing faster. You have this new gangster Joker. Something's going on with him, bro, but he's taking on the identity of his brothers, man. He's getting ejected from games. I was talking to my boy about it earlier today. Markieff has not been back in the game since Joker pushed him the fuck down. So I don't know what kind of push that was, man, where he just realigned his spine or something, man. I don't know. But this is a game that Denver should get up for. I'm personally not on the game. I haven't really bet a lot of Minnesota Timberwolves games, and with the team like Denver, who is so good, but at the same time, their record doesn't show it. I mean, this team is pretty good, man, and they're still sitting on a 14-13 record. I mean, it's kind of almost like the Lakers, where they have the set pieces to play, but they're still not winning more games than they should. So you just sometimes don't know what you're going to get out of Denver, and because I don't know that, I couldn't make a play on this game, but if I did, I would agree with the over, even though you've probably missed the value now because that's steamed up. But I do think that the side is Denver, but that really hasn't moved, right? So do the books know, or, do sharps know for sure that this 4.5 is right? If so, I would stay off this game completely. You missed the value on the over. Don't touch the side. Just stay off this game.
And you're right. Interesting stuff. I didn't even go to the market. We have 21% of tickets on the Timberwolves and 83% of cash.
Yeah,
so
man.
Sharp bets on the Wolves, and it's moved to half point towards the Nuggets. And then we have 45% of tickets on the under and that's just changed. So 41% of tickets on the under and 96% of cash on the under. So the public coming in on the over. Clearly, the Sharps waited till it hit its highest point, and that was probably 24.5, and just hammered it to the under.
Hammered it, man. Yeah.
And I could get that, because if you look, Astute Chaos gets it at 218.5 on the overnight line. Are you telling me you're going to offer these guys 6 points of value, and they're not going to just hammer it to the under?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
I didn't even have a total on this line. That's how I didn't have a total on this line yesterday when I was capping the games. But yeah, I mean, you could have got this at 218.5, even as low as 217 at some books. So yeah, I mean, that's a big move in points. So, but yeah, I do agree with the pace. Like I said, 117 in their last 3 games. Denver is going to go up and down the court here, but you've lost the value. Yeah,
and Astute Chaos, if he wants, now can go for a middle, or at least, leverage. There's lots of I love it when you have opportunities like that. If you want, or you just take the 6 points of value. Turnsy says, Derl is such a thorough speaker. I feel it in my bones.
Thanks, Turnsy. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it, brother.
All right, let's move on to these games. This is, NBA is a tricky sport to cap without all this ridiculousness with injuries and COVID. Clippers 16-12, 4-5 on the road at Utah Jazz, 19-7, 9-4 at home. Vivint Arena in Salt Lake City, Utah. Clippers are 4-1 over their past 5. This team just capable of playing through injuries so well. 8th in pace, 98.70 possessions a game, while Utah is 5-0 over the past 5. 15th in pace at 97.90 possessions a game. We have Utah opening up as 9-point favorites. They're now 9.5-point favorites. This total's come from 216.5 to 217.5. When we go over to the cash flow in this spot, 58% of the tickets are on Utah, 74% of cash. 80% of the tickets on the under, 82% of the cash. Here we go. Clippers coming in off their fourth straight win, 111-95 at home over the Suns on Monday night. Already without Kawhi, Batum, now without Paul George. He's missed three straight games due to an elbow injury. His status is in the air. I don't know if he's been confirmed that he is out. Marcus Morris Sr. led the Clippers with 24 points and 11 boards, but the Suns were playing without Booker and Ayton as well. Reggie Jackson scores 19, Terrence Mann scores 17. They get 16 and 9 boards from Kennard. And Zubac, 8 points, 5 boards, 4 blocks. Jazz come in fresh off sweeping their 4-game road trip, winning their 7th straight, 123-98 at Washington on Saturday night. Hassan Whiteside goes for 18 and 14. This team just is deep. Mitchell led Utah in scoring in every game of this winning streak. He's put up 30 or more points in 4 consecutive games. He did. Sorry, that's ended on December 8th. My fault. Here we go. Clippers, Jazz. Daryl, take it away.
So the 3 strikes you're out here. So if I get this wrong, then I'm going to retire this minus. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. But give me Utah minus. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. I think this is a beatdown in the making right now. I do. Utah is ranked number 1 in points per game at $1.25. They've been sitting down with Quinn Snyder Quinn for at least a couple of games here. They've had a huge rest, right? They haven't played since the 11th, and they don't play for another 2 days. In the last 3, they are ranked number 1. Now, I said, okay, how could Clippers have any type of advantage here? Well, you know that Utah is going to shoot a lot of threes. So I wanted to see what their defensive, what their opponent's 3-point possession is, or 3-point percentage is. Jazz is actually better than the Clippers there. They're actually better than the Clippers. Now, the Clippers can defend the 3 well, but now you've got all these players out, right? You don't have Paul George in there. You got a problem. You don't have Nick Batum, who's a great anchor player. You got a problem, man. You got a problem against a Jazz team who will shoot you out the building in high elevation at home. Enough said, man. Enough said. I agree with this line. I had this line as high as 12. I'm going to look and refresh it now. Yeah, I had this line as high as 12. I had one model, though, that had this game at -5. And you've got to look at something here. This is crazy, and this is what made me more confident about the bet. The Clippers are on a 4-game win streak, and they are -9 or +9.5 against Utah. And they haven't played since the 13th, so it is 2 days off. You did travel for a day. You got to relax. But they've beaten Phoenix, Boston, and Portland, right? Those are 3 hard teams to play against. And Utah is laying 9.5 points, man. 9.5 points. I believe this is a beatdown here. I really do. So you're going to give me the Jazz. They are ranked number 1 for a reason. They're on their little win streak. You did see this last year where if you were on that Jazz train, you won 15 games in a row. Right. So I believe this is the spot to where if I don't win this and I'm just going to retire, I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. But yeah, give me Utah Jazz full game minus. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is.
Well, you do have a decision to make because it's either a -9 juiced or a 9.5, almost no juice. So the 9 is at circa at -117. The 9.5 is at Pinnacle. Is at Pinnacle at -104.
Yeah, just I'll go for the push here. I'll go for the push just in case I'm wrong. I'll go for the push.
All right, Jazz -9 -117 available at circa. A lot of people going Jazz first quarter, first half, full game right across the board. Yes, Max on record. Maxwell Smart will be joining us in 8 minutes. We still have 2 games left to cap. The timing is all working out smoothly here. So Durrell has moved on to Jazz, and I agree. Do you have less interest in the Jazz early?
I think people always get to those games when they see a large spread because they're afraid of that large number. So they think, okay, I think I'll just take the first half just to kind of cut the points, right? Now, for the record, first half points right now in the last 3 You've got Utah actually down at the bottom at 57. And then you have the Clippers at 56. That's what they're averaging in the last 3. So I looked at that and I'm like, well, that's too close because the Clippers can come alive. You'll see the Jazz come alive in the second half, which is what they do. So, when people see large spreads, Jimmy, the first thing they do is let me see if I can just cut that in half because they are the better team. But you got to look at their body of work, right? And so even in the last 3, even though the Jazz are averaging 125 points per game, they're only averaging 57 in the first half. That tells you that Utah is playing better in the second half. So it's just one of those things to where I would just take the full game here if you like the Jazz. It could get away because like they have had a long break here. But I would just take the full game here.
I like it. Great breakdown. We have DERL in on the Jazz -9 at -117. I expect to be rolling with that. Let's just see what if it's 9.5 at my book, which I imagine that it will be. And yes, 9.5 -110. Okay, let's roll on. Next up, and by the way, Vitalis backing that up. See, Jazz first half numbers aren't great. Go full game. Look at the Warriors game yesterday, for example. Michigan melted. If you don't,
real quick, I just saw Mark's comment. I would look at the Gobert props also. His rebound prop, whatever that is, that's probably a good look. I'm not a prop guy. It sucks that I'm not. But this is one of those games to where he probably could get some boards. But yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's all good. Is my record, as it says from Jose, we still don't talk about it. He's worried that I will get upset. Look, if the Blazers had won last night, I would be down 14 units on the season. Nothing I can't get out of, and I'm still betting it, But the way the Blazers lost last night is just another sign of how my season is going. And I had them at +100 on the money line, and I felt very good about the situation. I knew they were going to take over in the second half. Everything seemed to be coming together. Memphis Grizzlies 17-11, 6-5 on the road. Blazers 11-16, 10-5 at home at the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon. The Moda Center, a place where the Portland Blazers have lost 5 straight home games. They started the year 10-1. They've just been so bad lately, and I know they're dealing with injuries, but a lot of explaining to do last night. Lillard played 47 minutes on the front end of his back-to-back, and Billups said he tried to remove Lillard, and Lillard said no. Fuck that. It's not feel
steroids. Good. It's some steroids in the stomach, man. It always goes like that.
And they lose. All right, let's take a look at what we did. Those missed free throws made me want to fucking lose it. Memphis opening up at -2. There is a 2.5 on the board. The total opened up at 219.5. Now we have a 217.5. Memphis 4-1 over the past 5, 20th in pace at 96.90 possessions a game, while Portland's 0-5 over their last 5, 11th in pace at 98.45 possessions a game over that span. Memphis comes in off their third straight win, 126-91 at home over the Sixers on Monday night. I think that a similar thing could happen here with the Pacers at the Bucks tonight. They have no compassion for what this team is what the Bucks are going through. Fuck the Bucks. And that's what Memphis said about the Sixers. Right? It was the same thing. Dylan Brooks goes for 23. Jaren Jackson goes for 22. 5 Grizzlies scored in double digits. Blazers coming off the second half of a home back-to-back after losing 111-107 to the Suns overtime last night. God damn. 6 straight loss, 9th in their last 10 games. Missed 2 free throws in their final 32 seconds. Lillard goes for 31 and 10. Ugh, what a fucking mess. Grizzlies, Blazers, take it away, Daryl.
Yeah, man. So you have season cappers who will look at this game and kind of try to dig deep into the numbers. You'll have maybe the casual fan that knows a little bit about sports to just be all on Memphis here. You saw that number move as well, man. This was last night when I was writing out this game. It was Portland -1. I wish I would have jumped on it last night. Because when that game went into overtime, I'm like, holy shit, they got to play Memphis tomorrow, right? And they're playing Phoenix in overtime here. So I looked and said, okay, even if this number did get out of hand, like I was kind of forward thinking. I was like, okay, if this number gets out of hand, like what would be an advantage to the Memphis Grizzlies? And would the number matter? And so now here we are, Memphis -3, complete flop of 4 points, flip of 4 points. And I looked at something which made a lot of sense, which may make this game get out of hand for Portland late. first off, Memphis is playing some really good ball. They're playing some really good ball. They beat Philly. They beat a surging Houston. I mean, that was a good Houston team they beat at the time. Of course, they beat the Lakers, lost to Dallas, but then went on a run and beat Miami, Dallas, OKC, Toronto, and Sacramento. So Memphis has been doing the damn thing. Their defense is great. But do you know what's keeping Memphis in the game right now? It tripped me out. And I think this is a good angle. Sacramento in the last 3 is quietly ranked 3rd in offensive rebounding. And so that tells me that there's a lot of second chance points that they're going to get. They are also ranked higher for the season than Portland in defensive boards. So I do believe you have an advantage on the board game. Now, when you have metrics in play, boards only account for a small percentage of the metrics besides shooting and free throws and stuff like that. But I do believe you're going to see a fast Memphis team that's playing pretty damn good without Ja, which is kind of sad to see. But this game, in my opinion, is going to get out of hand for Portland, and it's going to get out of hand late, especially if Memphis decides to push the pace. This number is pretty low. I mean, it's kind of low, kind of high. You know, it's not in the 220s, but 218 is kind of low for Portland Trailblazers team. But it's like that because of the back-to-back. I do believe you're going to have Jaren Jackson that'll be able to get off. This is a team right now that should be able to win this game easily by 3. So I am going to step on this game also. Memphis Grizzlies -3. I'll take it.
Memphis -3 at -106 for DERL. All right, last game on the card here, and I like the breakdown. I think I'm running with that as well. 10 p.m. Eastern, Washington Wizards 15-13, 7-9 on the road. Sacramento Kings 11-17, 5-8 at home at the Golden One Center. Sacramento, California. Washington 1-4 over their past 5. They've started out a road trip poorly. They're 26th in pace over the last 5, 94.73 possessions a game, while Sacramento 2-3, first in pace over the last 5, 102.20 possessions a game. Wizards coming off their second straight loss, 113-107 at Denver on Monday night. Beal was held to 21 points and 19 as the Wizards have lost the last 2 games. At home against Utah and at Denver to begin a 6-game road trip. And Kuzma for these Wizards has been unable to play because of COVID, but he's yet to be ruled out for tonight. Kings come in off their third loss, 124-101 at Toronto. Third straight loss, 124-101 at Toronto on Monday night. They do not look good, and now Gentry's in protocol, so he won't be behind the bench. Right now, the Wizards are 2-point road favorites, and this total is at 225 juice to the over. And when we go to the cash flow, we have 63% of tickets on the Wizards, 96% of cash on them. 43% of tickets on the over, 91% cash on the over. Take it away, Joe.
Yeah, just going ahead and give me the Sacramento Kings first half. This is a team that is in the top 10 as far as first half. We've been kind of cashing money with them. But I looked at their game. Sacramento in the last 3 has 50 first half points to the Wizards 48. So it's kind of close there. Sacramento is ranked 7th in the league right now overall at 56 points. So their points are kind of down, actually, right? But I do believe this is a game that they can get right on. While Washington, though, they only score 51, and they're below average in their first half ATS. They're actually below 500. So I believe this is a game that Sacramento can get together. This is another team that cracks me up because they're actually, it tells a story. This team is 11-17 overall. 11-17 overall, but they're over 500 in the first half. This tells you that this is a team that can come together in the first half but fall apart in the second half. They don't have that winning record there. So because they average more points in the last 3, because they average more points overall against Washington Wizards, because they are at home, and because Washington is under 500 in the first half ATS, I do like Sacramento here. First half, give me that Sacramento money line first half.
The money line is even money, plus a hundo for Sacramento first half. And that concludes the big NBA card here. Sacramento first half plus 100 for DERL. Great job, Daryl. That's a lot of games to break down. Let's review action here in NBA. He starts his card with the Cavs first half -5 and -110. Did you still want to move on that over?
No.
Okay, not on that over.
So they're -5 first half.
By the way, that might have changed now. We'll take a look because Mobley's a game time decision.
Yeah, you know what? I'm off that game. Take that off. There's no way in hell I'm not playing without Mobley. No way. No way. Take that game off.
All right, that is off. And you've got lots of action here on the card, so no need to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. Hawks team total over 115.5 at -108. I'm close to moving on Magic +8 myself. Then we have the Sixers first quarter. Did you pull the trigger on that? No.
Didn't pull the trigger because we don't know what's going on with Joel Embiid, but that's a close lean for me.
And I expect to pull the trigger on that. Then Lakers Mavericks, because of all the COVID news that's coming in, a stay off spot. You were on the Pacers first half -2 at +115. I'm going to back the Pacers here. I think it's a smash and grab. Pelicans Thunder,
Pacers -2, correct?
Yes. Pacers first half -2 at +115.
Okay.
Then we have Spurs first quarter -1 at -106. I love the Spurs early in this game against the Hornets. I'm going to be with you there. Nothing for Timberwolves Nuggets. Then you're on Jazz -9 at -117. I am interested in that. You're on Memphis -3 at -106. I like that quite a bit. Sacramento first half at +100, and that concludes your card. And you are having back-to-back strong shows here. You're 19 and 15, hitting at 55.9% +2.8 units, ROI +8.24%, average line -108. Daryl, my man, great work. We get you again on Friday.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking forward to that. Then I hop on an airplane and head to your neighborhood. So
man, let us get together and do some things that we may regret.
Yes, and if we're doing that beside DJ Big Boss and Wham Bam, what could go wrong?
Right.
Nothing. I'll tell you, nothing could go wrong. There he is. Follow our man on Twitter at ItsDERL. I love capping with you. Thank you for taking the time to break down all these games for us. Your hard work, we absolutely love being around. So thank you, Daryl. Have yourself a wonderful Wednesday, and I will be in touch, my friend.
You as well, brother. Take care.
There he is. It's Daryl in the house. We go from It's Daryl to the Cupcake King, Maxwell Smart, in the house. And Max has picked out 4 games that he's attacking here on the NCAA basketball card. Maxwell Smart, happy Wednesday to you, my friend. How are you?
Jimmy, I always get into conflicts and confrontations with people because I don't like what they're doing. You know, I'm policing the building. And today is one of those days. I would tell you the story, but it is very R-rated. It is a more off-screen type thing. But let's just say that if a certain person on the 7th floor gets in an elevator with me again, they're probably going to need some paramedics.
Okay. All right. Well, that has piqued my curiosity, as Maxwell Smart often does. He often does. Let's get this. So I got Circa up. I got FanDuel. We will be doing line shopping for our Maxwell Smart. He's picked out 4 games on the program. If you want to see a lot more of Max, him and Connor Mack break down the card at 5 p.m. Eastern. NCAA net profits. Max starts his card at 6:30 p.m. Eastern in the nation's capital of Washington, D.C. Howard Bison, 5-4, 1-3 on the road at the Georgetown Hoyas, 5-4, 5-1 at home. And of course, they don't have this game listed in the odds page. What a bunch of losers on this site. What happened to this site? And let's move over to the NCAA spot here. We have right now Pinnacle holding Georgetown as 10.5-point favorites at -112 with a high total at 157.5. That is juiced to the under. Howard coming off breaking a 2-game losing streak with a big 90-56 win over American. That was 11 days ago, so they're a rested squad. Georgetown coming in off back-to-back wins over UMBC and then Syracuse, both at home. They beat Syracuse 79-75 back on Saturday night. Maxwell Smart, get it started, baby. Howard, Georgetown.
Listen, Jim, I chose this regional matchup because it is big brother versus little brother. And when we got Patrick Ewing involved in a game where he's the head coach, anything can happen. Let's be brutally honest. Georgetown, they're not looking that great right now, but there is promise. And when it comes to tournament time, doesn't matter if they're ranked 1 or 8 in that Big East tournament, they could win it. And they showed last year exactly that. With Georgetown, though, I think that coming off a really nice win against Syracuse at home as a 3-point dog is something that maybe we have a little bit of a situational letdown early, but it's hard to say that when you look at Georgetown's body of work against UMBC, Siena, and the common opponent that both these teams have in American. While American definitely was the ass whipping boy for both of these teams, I do think that Howard brings in an experienced lineup and a surprising balanced scoring lineup. Yes, the 11 days off will be interesting to see how they come out. But for me, it's definitely a spot where I think that Howard is going to have some value in the first half. I think that when you look at this group, they're experienced, they're physical, they get to the rim, and while they're not the most efficient free throw shooting, you do have multiple contributors, and when you score those greasy second chance buckets, they count just as much as the 18-footer. So I'm going to be riding with Howard first half in this spot, and I think that if Georgetown gets down early, it will not surprise me.
Howard, interesting letdown spot or Georgetown having the letdown spot after the Syracuse game. This has moved to 11 over at FanDuel. Circa is not letting us bet it. We have it moved to the first half is at 6.5 at FanDuel. It's only at 6 at Pinnacle. I imagine that's better than Bet365. Let's just take a quick look and just ensure that is the case because I have that site up as well. Let's go to extra games. Here we go. So that is 6 as well. So 6.5 is the best we can give you. Howard, first half plus 6.5, but it will cost you 4 cents minus 114 to get the hook.
Yeah, I'll take that.
All right, Max is on the board. Howard, first half plus 6.5 and minus 114. So, Max, basically what's happening here is that the possibility or the expectation of a letdown spot after a big win over Syracuse is trumping the fact that Howard should have more legs in the second half.
Yeah, I don't really think that Georgetown's not going to have legs in the second half. I've just watched a lot of Georgetown basketball where they do put out a good, strong performance in these types of matchups. I just think that when you throw in the situational aspects of it, that it just adds on to the statistical merit of it to begin with.
All right. And you're getting a plus 6.5. Piker saying Bison are 5-1 in their last 6 road games. They are a road team against the spread. And Piker also says that he would never sexually assault any of us in an elevator. I don't know if that's what Max was referring to, but just on a side note.
No, it was involving a man and there was no sexual assault. And if that was the case, you can be guaranteed that I'd be in a jail and not sitting here talking to you.
And we
Max confirmed sex assaulted a male on an elevator.
I don't think that was the case. I don't think that was the breaking news. It was coming in and out. I think that was the problem. I think. Okay, let's just keep moving. Here. Mike M has a question here. But he doesn't want to miss the opportunity. Mike M has a quick question here. It says his book has Gardner Webb at plus 7.5, but it's minus 7 everywhere else. So clearly that's a mistake that his local book is giving, and he may or may not get paid that out.
Yeah, I would think that maybe they're just trying to be contrarian against the other books. They are competing for our money. It's not the other way around. So
that's a 14-point. No, that's
only a half point.
No, he's saying that they're a plus 7.5.
Oh yeah, that's a wrong line. That won't get paid out then.
Yeah, so that I wouldn't. what's likely is that you'll get to make the bet, and then they'll just send you an email saying that there was a line issue there. All right, Maxwell Smart is on the board with Howard Bison, first half plus 6.5 at -114. Dan Kelly says he's only here for the breaking news. I think if Jose's mic was panicking under the pressure of the sex assault story. 7 p.m. Eastern, Georgia Southern Eagles 5-4, 1-4 on the road at Campbell, fighting Camels 7-2, 4-0 at home. We go to Buies Creek, North Carolina for fighting Camel action. We have Campbell opening up as 5-point favorites. Now they're either 6 or 6.5. Again, I'm not certain if this is even updating at this point. And we have this total opening up at 122, which is where I see it standing right now. When we go over to this squad, Georgia Southern coming off another loss to a Div 1 team. They lose to Mercer 77-68. That comes on the heels of their loss to Moorhead, their loss to Georgia Tech, which was just by 2 points, and their 18-point loss to Wofford. All 4 of those games have come on the road. The Fighting Camels were last seen against the Div 1 team in a loss to VCU, 65-61 at VCU. Their last game, though, was 8 days ago against Columbia International Rams, a non-Div 1 opponent. Max, take it away here, Georgia Southern Campbell.
Yeah, with Georgia Southern, I just don't want to be getting involved with a team that has to rely on freaking Sasarov and freaking Elijah McCaden. So I'm just not down with it. I think that Campbell, definitely at home with their experience and having Cedric Henderson and Jordan Woodfield now back healthy, is going to make a big difference. I do think that Georgia Southern can muck this game up and turn it into a really ugly rock fight. We've seen them do that most recently against, I think it was UTA. So I just think that when you look at this Georgia Southern team, they're a team that does not want to shoot a whole bunch of threes. They want to go to the rim. They're a high 2-point percentage shooting team, one of the best in the nation so far. I think that with Campbell, though, this is a team that has to hit threes. If they're not hitting threes, they're not going to be in this game. They're not going to be able to cover that spread. It's a key, and it's one of their big home factors that I've watched over the last couple years. This team has played together for a long time. I think that Austin McCullough is the X factor. If he gets 13 to 15 points in this game, I think that Campbell wins this game running away. But for me, I think that the value for us as a show pick is going to be the first half over. I want to see Campbell establish their offense early, get out to a nice lead, and we've seen them do that in first halves. This is where they're going to have their problems against Georgia Southern because that's also their strength. But at the end of the day, I think that Georgia Southern has proven against this type of opponent, an opponent that can close out on shooters, really box out and limit your offensive rebounding opportunities, is a team that is going to beat you and put up points against you. So I want the first half over. I'll take up until 57.5 or 58, but I won't go any higher than that, Jim.
Well, we can get you 57, over 57 at -112. If you wanted more than that, the 57.5's -103, the 58's +106.
No, I'll take the 57. With these two teams, a point may matter.
All right, and let me just ensure that that is the best line here just very quickly. Let me just go here and see this here very quickly. First half, let's see if we can beat that 57. The first half total is 57.5 over here. So yeah, the 57.5 is a -108 at FanDuel. It's -106 at Pinnacle, but the 57 over first half over 57. Sorry, first half over 57 is at -112, available right now at Pinnacle in Georgia Southern Eagles Campbell fighting Camels action. Next up for Max is the Nicholls Colonels, 7-3, 2-2 on the road at the Wisconsin Badgers, 8-2, 4-1. We are in Madison, Wisconsin for this one. Wisconsin 19-point favorites. This total opened up at 136.5, and it is dropping. There's 135.5, there's 135, there's even a 134.5. Nicholls has won 3 straight one of which was against a Div 1 opponent, beating Mississippi Valley State 95-80. Their last game was on Monday versus non-Div 1 competition. Wisconsin had their winning streak snapped at Ohio State in a ugly 73-55 loss, 18-point loss. Are they an angry group? Are they going to take it out on Nicholls? Take it away, Max.
Yeah, I think that with Texas State, Lamar could be definitely contained. I think with Davion Buster, he is going to shoot a lot of volume, and it's going to be key to shut him down. He was shut down to the tune of like 7 for 22 last time out. That's the type of stat line that you need him in this game if you want to cover this big number. While I do think that Texas State is much more dominant at home, and with this trio of guards and Shelby Adams, Mason Harrell, and Caleb Asbury, you have good free throw shooters, good 3-point shooters, and guys that will get to the rim and not settle for jump shots. So I think Texas State is going to play better also at night. I think the game against Denver was a little lower scoring. I don't know if I can actually verify that. I probably won't be able to. It's just my own suspicion. But from a number perspective, I see value on the first half over with Texas State again. These are two teams that have had trouble stopping people. I expect that to continue today. When I look at this Lamar team, they just need to give us a little bit, give us freaking 30 points a half and we'll be good. I think that this is a spot that we just take the over with. We take a improved shooting Texas State team that makes the most of the 3-point opportunities and does a lot of work at the free throw line. When you score as much of their points as they do a game at the free throw line, it makes me comfortable to take overs, even though there are numbers saying that you should go full game under. But we're not going to make that official for the show. We're just going to go with the first half over.
Sorry, Max, that was my fault. I introduced Nicholls Wisconsin here.
You did. I apologize.
No, it's all good. Did you not want to move on that game, or are we going to move?
Yeah, we're going to. I just screwed up there. That's
no, it's no problem. It's no problem at all. No, look, it's all good. It's all good. Don't trip for a second. So Lamar, Texas State, and you are looking at the over in
first half over. Yeah,
first half over. Okay, let's lock that in for you here, and here we go. Sorry, I've got all these sites up, and I'm trying to get you lines on every game, and then I was like, Jesus, what's going on? Okay, here we go. Lamar, Texas State, first half over. At Pinnacle, they're offering it to us at 62. Is that a good number?
Yep, 62 is fine. Just for everyone out there, I did bet 61.5, so I still believe that we're within the threshold.
Over 62 at minus 108. Let me move over to FanDuel to see if that is possible, if we could beat this here with this Lamar, Texas State spot. And see right now if we can get a 61.5. Can we get a 61.5? Yes, we can. Over 61.5 at minus 110 available at FanDuel right now. So let's fix that right now. Over 61.5 at minus 110 at FanDuel. That's Lamar, Texas State. And then we move over to Nicholls Colonels and the Wisconsin Badgers game that I did introduce. So I just let Max take it away. Again, the odds here are Wisconsin is sitting here as 19-point favorites, and the total has dropped from 136.5 to anywhere between 135.5 and 134.5. Take it away.
Yeah, I think that with this Wisconsin game, they're going to have to come ready to play tonight, because if you don't get a huge game out of Johnny Davis, are you really putting up enough points to cover this type of number? For me, I think that it's only Nicholls full game, and I got to just pray that Ty Gordon comes ready to ball out and Devontae Carter is his wingman. When I look at these guys, they get to the rim, they can make a transition three. It's just going to be about how good Wisconsin's shooting the basketball. And if you're going to only get 2 or 3 double-digit scores from that entire roster, and you're going to have starters that are just bunking out as far as producing offensively, which has been the case a lot for Wisconsin, yeah, I'm definitely going to ride the big dog. I think that when you look at Wisconsin also, is this a spot that they want to smash somebody? Is this a spot that they care about? I'm never going to know. but my perception is going to be that they're going to be able to come out, backdoor cover this game, at least challenge first half. And it's a similar spot to the Alcorn Wichita State game, even though we had our asses clenched like a bank vault for that.
And I screwed up in the betting of that. I should have just taken full game, and I took first half, and I was brings back horrific nightmares of last night. And the system that I've used this year of only capping the games that you cap, and really just cap, like listening to you more than capping them myself, has been great. And I messed it up yesterday. That's my first 0-2 day I think I've had, in all honesty. It's been really nice run tailing you. Okay, so here we go. So how did you want to bet this Nicholls game? Do you want?
Yeah, I think that we just got to keep it simple. We just got to go with the full game here. I will say that I will be on first half also, but I'm just trying to limit the possibilities of a bloodbath, and we just never know when the roller coaster is going to crash.
All right, so we have plus 19 at minus 103 at Pinnacle. Let's just take a quick look and see if we can get a 19.5 over at FanDuel in this spot. Let's move over. So this is Nicholls with 19 minus 105. So, all right, let's lock it in. Nicholls Colonels plus 19 at minus 103 available at Pinnacle. All right, let's review action from Maxwell Smart. He's on the Howard Bison first half plus 6.5 at minus 114. Then he's on the first half over 57 at minus 112 in Georgia Southern Eagles and Campbell Fighting Camels. Then in the Nicholls Colonel Wisconsin Badgers game, he's on Nicholls plus 19 at minus 103. And then he closes up shop with the first half over 61.5 at minus 110 in Lamar Cardinals Texas State Bobcats. There you have it. Absolutely great stuff. Maxwell Smart. Max, my man, big show today with Connor Mack at 5 p.m. Eastern. Any last words for the great cappers supporting the show, my man?
I just want to know, did we have any taint?
No. No taint and no spreadsheet play either. We did have a Lamont Williams half of a max bet parlay. That's Lipscomb, Florida State, full game under 142.5.
That's an interesting spot. Lipscomb definitely having some troubles without Asadula, but also having troubles defending without Asadula. So interesting spot, not a spot that I'm currently on, but I'll definitely do a little deeper dive now that I know that LW's on it.
Lamont Williams max bet, which hits at a very high rate. We also have Robert Cherry on a parlay with Chattanooga plus 5.5, Marshall plus 3.5, San Diego State plus 3.5, Winthrop on the money line, and Georgia Southern plus 6. That
is an absolute mouthful. That's all I can say on that one.
It is.
That's the luck.
Is. And Michael Robertson saying that the games tonight in the Midwest might be subject to weather. Says the wind is blowing harder than cul-de-sac cupcake cutie. A cul-de-sac cupcake cutie. All right. Interesting stuff. You guys, that is our show for today. Max, do you mind sticking around for a minute while I shut it down?
Yeah, no problem.
That is our show for today. Let's review action very quickly here. The Puck Bunny play of the day is the over 5.5 in Washington, Chicago. I'm staying off of that game. Uncomfortable with Backstrom coming back, and I'm not sure if Tom Wilson's going to be in the lineup. Then the Rangers is a double up spot for me. The New York Rangers, I know they're on no rest, but this Coyotes team without Chychrun is a must fade. So I've got the Rangers first period minus 0.5 at plus 130. Rangers full game minus 1 at plus 115. Ducks minus 1 at plus 102. And remember, the most important thing about taking favorites in NHL against bottom feeders is you need your team to have lost recently or be on a losing streak. And the Rangers fit both of those protocols. There's Ron Crawford in the house coming to us right before win. So we'll see if he does have a spreadsheet play today. So then I'm also on the Anaheim Ducks minus 1 at plus 102. Then in NBA, Durrell's on the Hawks team total over 115.5 minus 108. And I think I'm going to move on the Magic plus 8. And the Washington Capitals spreadsheet play today is in from Ron Crawford. Washington Capitals spreadsheet play of the day is in. Let me just pop this here, right here. Thank you for sharing that with us, Ron. And it is the Capitals here. Then we have the Sixers first quarter is a move that I am going to make. Lakers, Mavericks, no action. DERL's on the Pacers, first half -2, plus 115, and I'm going to double up first half full game. No action for Pelicans Thunder. DERL's on the Spurs, first quarter -1. I'm going to go first quarter and first half. I may drop $25 off of my bet for those right now. I don't want to shy away from double bets here, and just because it's a holiday season, I feel like I'm nervous making bets, and it's affecting me. So I'm not going to make it just one bet because I'm nervous. I'll just cut $25 off my unit size and make both bets there. Sorry to give you that kind of insight, but Jazz -9 for DERL. I get that spot. I still have horrible memories of the Clippers taking care of business in game 6 of the playoffs. And Memphis -3 is a DERL spot that I do agree with. And he's also on Sacramento first half at plus 100. Again, for Maxwell Smart, first half plus 6.5, first half over 57, the plus 19 for Nicholls State, and the first half over 61.5 in Lamar, Texas State. Rob Stevenson is on UCF -5, VCU -10.5. And Dan Kelly says that he does like mustard, but never with honey. He understands to separate the two. He's a man of honor.
God bless him. God bless him. He's a smart man, and obviously he's a Syracuse Orange guy, so salute to him.
He's a man of honor and respect, but
not like Nilo.
Not Nilo.
No, not that SOB. This guy is just about living his life, dipping everything he eats in honey mustard, from fish to sardines to anchovies, all the garbage that he eats. Yeah, not a fun household to live in if you got to eat for a living.
No, there's two different sides of the fence here. One full of honor and one a honey mustard eater. Then we have Dan T, who says never honey mustard, always honey. Respecting the cause.
I appreciate that. I
like honey mustard.
Jose, I don't want to see you in an elevator, bud. I don't want to see you in an elevator. Yeah.
Oh my good God.
Yeah. This is I knew it was coming. I knew he was going to say something nice about honey. It's like, yeah, I dipped my chicken tenders in honey mustard yesterday. I know you did, Jose. Maybe I have a camera in your house. Huh? Maybe I have an investigator following you. You won't know.
It was good though.
Guy makes me sick to my fucking stomach.
You can just spit in my face in March.
I don't know if that's really my style.
Yeah, that's a good way to pass COVID along. So let's try and avoid that stuff.
How about just an open hand slap? All right?
Yeah, open hand. That can't be construed as assault.
Rem Most has breaking news. Jose needs a new microphone. That's the breaking news from Rem Most. He has been on a big winning streak until the Steph Curry. I want to give a shout out to, not you, Jose. I want to give a shout out to Dutch Boy Fresh. The under 5.5 threes was a real ballsy play going against the record breaking, and but Jose on the other side believing in Steph Curry on a record breaking night. Sad, but he's still a winning capper on the show and a huge winning capper on the show. Thank you guys so much for rolling with us. We have Maxwell Smart here for the ending of the show, and I want to utilize that. First, so I want to thank all you guys. We have nothing without your insights, your humor, everything. Dan T, a puzzler, Rem Most, Dan Kelly, Mike, Rob Stevenson, Let's Go, Brandon, Jared TG, Nilo, Robert Cherry, punt per pop play today is the Ducks money line, by the way. James Reed's on Portland plus 17, Weber State plus 2.5 are his two spots. Max on record, Ron Crawford, all you guys, thank you so much for your support. Trevor Loudon, Steve, we even have Jansen Bonzen in the house. Max, my man, do you want to give us a leche to get us out of here? Do you want to do something else? I want to utilize you for the ending of the show.
Well, I think that the best way that I can sign off a show is by telling people to do what they need to do over Christmas. And I'm not talking about buying gifts for your loved ones. I'm not talking about supporting charities and helping get people off the street, which are all great causes. But the number one cause that should be on your list of things to do is to go to your local strip clubs, support your local strippers, and leche los bookmakers for Christmas.
Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.